Hey guys. So so I tried a little I tried a little experiment on BitChute because everybody's saying it's two wings of the same bird paradigm and all this false paradigm. And voting is I can't believe all these people they vote and they believe they're so stupid and all this. So as an experiment, I went into one of these threads where people like to talk like this, and I just mirrored it back onto them, where I said, man, I'm so glad I'm out of that false two wings of the same bird, drugs and alcohol paradigm lie. I mean, wow. And now that I'm not trapped in that false left-right drugs and alcohol paradigm lie, now I'm like so much better than everybody else. And all these people that are stuck in the false drug and alcohol paradigm lie, I can't believe how stupid they are that they would actually believe in this false two wings of the same bird drug and alcohol paradigm lie. They're like the stupidest fucking people on the whole entire fucking planet, right? So there's you want to talk about like false paradigms. Well, what about drugs and alcohol? That's a total false paradigm. Like anybody. See, I could easily do this all day long. I could say anybody that does drugs and alcohol, they're just the stupidest fucking people on the whole fucking planet. And then if anybody tried to call me on, I'd be like, dude, I've been abstinent from all drugs for almost 23 years. In November it'll be 23 years. And like so I know that everybody that does drugs and alcohol is just a stupid fucking retard, and they're just the dumbest fucking people, you know? So anyways, it's the same thing as the telling people that vote that they're stupid, and anybody that believes that voting is stupid. Anybody that believes that doing drugs and alcohol is beneficial at all is just stupid. They're the stupidest motherfuckers. But I don't do that. I don't do that. See, I don't believe. See, the thing is my life experience has provided me the wisdom and understanding that that's not the way the world works. It's not this black and white, one size fits all. That's just so. I mean, you know, it completely lacks any and all nuance. There's just a lack of any understanding at all whatsoever of nuance, and it's just these stupid blanket statements like, well, people that do drugs and alcohol are all stupidest motherfuckers, and I don't do drugs and alcohol, therefore I'm better, and how stupid can you fucking be, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's just weak. It's just weak. And so as an experiment, I just presented a false left-right paradigm of drugs and alcohol. Yeah? And it's like, yeah. But, you know, and guess what the response was? People didn't like it. They're like, get out of here with your bullshit. Well, exactly. That's exactly my point. But it's just total bullshit. I mean, if somebody wants to present that argument, first of all, that's ad hominem. To say that all voters are stupid, that's ad hominem. Your argument means nothing, because the only thing you have to support it is name calling. Oh, all voters are sheeple. Voters are stupid. Voters are whatever. Fill in the blank here. That's your whole argument is based on pure ad hominem, like nothing else. But then those same people, when you present some other kind of argument and using the same ad hominem tactic, they get all butthurt and stupid and start telling you to leave, get out of here. You know, nobody wants to hear my point exactly. Like I said, I'll defend the non-voter just as much as I'll defend the voter, but that isn't the case. There is no need to defend non-voters because there isn't like this big, massive campaign to attack non-voters. There's this massive, huge campaign to attack voters. So if the roles were reversed, I'd be fucking with the people that are talking shit about non-voters. It's all the same to me. It's no different. So yeah, if the roles were reversed, and this is how I think. This is how my thought process is, and it's based in logic, not ad hominem. It's based in logic. That's the funny thing too about, but people try to explain, the reason that there's all this big, massive bunch of people that are saying this all over the place is because it's the truth. Dude, see, this is another thing. Okay, if a person can discern hype from buzz, then it's easier to tell what's going on. Hype is something that's manufactured, astroturfed, throw a bunch of money into it, pay a bunch of people to go online and say something over and over like a broken record all over the place. That's hype. Whereas buzz is just where people are just talking about something and it's catching on because people identify with it, And if a person can't discern hype from buzz, then that's why hype is designed. Hype is designed to mask itself as buzz. But it's really easy to tell. And one reason I've become super familiar with this is all the years I've spent playing in bands. You would be shocked at the amount of cookie cutter bands that are just total fucking hype. And how hype works is you just throw a bunch of money at it. Some trust fund baby cunts started a band, and then they used all their trust fund money to overproduce these shitty songs. So they have someone do professional recordings of their shitty cookie cutter songs, and then they just label it with some cookie cutter label of whatever's trendy, just whatever's trendy, and then they go out and they play shows. And they're average at best. They usually just suck. At best, they're average. And then they've got all their records that they have that they're selling and shit. And it's all just it's all funded by trust fund bullshit. They've never worked a day in their life or whatever. Their parents paid for all the record pressings and all this stuff. And it's totally obvious. I mean, when I'm playing in these bands, we could, it's so easy when you're not hyping up your band, it's so easy to see which bands are just cookie cutter, shitty, hyped up bands. And the hype would get crazy where they would pay, people to do record reviews of their album. And so whoever reviewed it would, because they're getting paid, it's all based in payola and shit. I mean, this is the way all this works. It's ridiculous. And then also when you understand that a campaign going around, a paid campaign to go all over on all these platforms talking about two wings of the same bird and voting is fake and all this stuff. Campaigns like that are paid for and stuff, they help whichever candidate is more desperate in need of votes, as opposed to helping the candidate that's likely to get the most votes. It's only gonna benefit the candidate that's desperate and is statistically by all appearances they're getting less popularity, less traction, less and so they're going to get less votes and so that would be advantageous to a desperate candidate who nobody wants to vote for and everybody thinks sucks. And the thing about Trump is, it's obvious that Trump is not hype. Trump is buzz. A lot of people genuinely like Trump. They're not just, and then to call those people stupid, that's like me saying, well, everybody that likes the band High on Fire is fucking stupid. And everybody that likes P. Diddy, they're the awesomest people in the whole wide world. A person has to be able to discern hype from buzz. And another thing in the world of music, musicians have a far more advanced understanding of the difference between hype and buzz than someone who doesn't even know how to play an instrument at all. So, you know, I mean, there's like, it's just like, it's easy to discern. It becomes easy to discern, especially when you've been involved in shit like that where there's hype and buzz and stuff. It's so easy to discern which is hype and which is buzz. And, you know, again, I'm not against the non-voter. I keep saying this over and over again. If the roles were reversed and there was this massive campaign, paid campaign of bots and useful idiots and shills and grifters to go out and attack non-voters and say how all these people that don't vote are the stupidest motherfuckers on the planet, my commentary would be bashing that. But see, that's not what's going on. And then when people try to say, well, the reason that all this is happening is because it's a big buzz. It's a big buzz movement, because everybody's catching on that voting is fake and it's all two wings of the same bird. And that's largely untrue. You know, like one comment said, the only reason it's been going on forever, and the only reason I'm noticing it now is because my eyes are opening. It's like, no, that's not true at all. I've seen it happen before, and it's always politically motivated. Like, I've seen it happen, and it's always liberals. It's always liberals that are saying two wings of the same bird. You never see people that lean more conservative doing that. It's always exclusively only liberals, and it's always only when they're losing, or they're losing the vote or they lost the vote. So like back when President Bush was elected, well, that's what they were saying. That's what all these liberal papers and stuff were saying, the same thing back then. Oh, it's two wings of the same bird. You see, if Kamala was catching the buzz, and it was obvious that Kamala was, I mean, it's totally obvious Trump is the better of the two candidates. Like, anybody that can't see that is totally blind. They're in complete denial. Honestly. Even if it is all rigged, it's better that Trump were to be rigged into office than Kamala. I can guarantee you that. Like, that's a total no-brainer, dude. If the candidate's already pre-selected, you better hope they pre-selected Trump. Because he definitely is the lesser of two evils. So. But it's just a ridiculous argument. Like I said, I'm not against non-voters. I would be saying the same thing if the roles were reversed and there was this massive paid campaign going around trolling non-voters, saying that non-voters are the stupidest people on the planet. Because I've heard non-voter arguments, and they make great arguments, but that's not proof of anything. So anyway, that's what's going on the internet. So, you know, it's unavoidable. That's what everybody's talking about. Like, that's the other thing. People that think that by stating this, it excludes them from the political discourse. No, it isn't. That's the most political stance on the internet right now. Is the apolitical stance. It's two wings of the same bird. Your vote doesn't matter. That's like massively political, and it's politically advantageous to Kamala Harris, whether people know that or not. The only reason they wouldn't know it is because they're not looking at it. They're not looking realistically at by doing so is inadvertently supporting Kamala. So you're contradictory to your own argument. You're supporting the very voting system that you claim people shouldn't be supporting by. But see, people are not going to understand this because people only believe what they want to believe. People only hear what they want to hear. They only believe what they want to believe. And then there's everything else. They like candy bars, and they like, blasting off on DMT, and they like video games, and they like, whatever, all this stupid shit. And then there's the truth, so whatever. I already know the score, and unless somebody wants to really have an intelligent conversation about it or something, but all it is ad hominem. Oh, everybody that votes is stupid. It's like, that isn't an argument. You know, you're not doing anything to support your argument, and I haven't seen anything but that. That's all I've seen is just that. That's it. So whatever.